watching the It's Her Time podcast with Cody and Jess. Hi, welcome back to the It's Her Time podcast. My name is Cody Sanders, and I'm a holistic health practitioner, functional nutritionist, and the host of this show. And the It's Her Time podcast is all about helping us ladies understand our hormones, our health, and help to support our happiness. And today we're going to have fun because we're going to do a little 101 on hormone health. When it comes to female reproductive health, many women they know the basics like estrogen, progesterone, and how they somehow work together to create a 28-day menstrual cycle every single month until menopause. In reality, though, these hormones are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to female hormonal health. Many people don't realize the extent of the work that these mighty molecules called hormones and what they do day in and day out. We tend to think they are only on duty during puberty or pregnancy, when in reality, they're working around the clock. So today, I want to do a kind of Hormones 101 so that we can better understand what hormones are and what causes them to become imbalanced. But before we go into all of this, let's pop over to our Mixers Girls. Say, all right. I could say this is probably my favorite segment of the whole entire episode, but I guess I like it all. But this is fun because it's a chance for us to just kind of laugh and have some giggles and kind of have a little lighthearted moment. And I especially love it because you girls have been becoming very familiar with who's sitting next to me, Bethany. Bethany has been helping me out with this segment for the last couple of weeks. And I love and appreciate her so much. And
it's fun being here.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun having these little fun conversations with you. Plus, I love that you always pick the responses from our Mixers girls.
Oh, it's fun.
That are just so perfect with what the episode is about. And it's so funny because it just has kind of worked out like that today. So, all right. So today, let's just get into it. What you guys said about, what was the question?
An LOL moment you've had talking about PMS. So times it's come up in conversation.
Which is so good because I mean, when it does come up, sometimes it just is like, can't believe somebody just asked me that or somebody just said that, or you know what I mean? Sometimes it's awesome. We love having conversations about, you know, our periods and hormones and all that stuff. But let's hear what some of your responses are.
All right. This one was pretty good and I think very relatable. It was 2 parts. So growing up with sisters, we'd be so grumpy with each other, go to the bathroom, come back and say, well, that makes sense.
Oh,
My period just started and then we'd cry together. This happened often.
good thing there was like a house full of sisters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was kind of like my house. I have 3 older sisters. And so, you know, by the time it was my turn to have my period and everything, it was like, been there, done that. But what's different about the way I grew up is that it was like, we didn't really talk about periods. I've shared this before. Like it was just kind of this, like we would talk in code, you know, like it was like, I don't know. We would use all the code words to talk about periods, which I am hoping with all my heart that that's not the case for girls that are just starting their periods now. I hope that has totally changed, especially in a house full of sisters. So.
I was so afraid to talk about my period when I was younger. Now I'm like, why? But
talk about it with the guy at the grocery store, you know, wherever.
Yeah.
Uber driver.
I guess you become immune to this kind of, I don't know.
Well, it's like, why feel embarrassed about something that is just so natural and it happens
normal.
to half the population of the world? Like,
yeah. All right. Another good one. Complaining that pads cause diaper rash and then going on about feeling bad for babies.
I never thought about that.
I didn't think about that either.
Man, that's a big pad though. I mean, I've been there. Oh, girls. I mean, TMI, no such thing, right? But man, when I went right before I started, you know, creating Her Time, I've told this also, I was dealing with heavy periods. And so, man, I couldn't find a big enough pad, honestly, because I was just like doing everything I could to try to just allow me to get out the door and like run my business and, you know, just live my life. And so I get it. And they're the most uncomfortable things ever. And
Truly.
So, yeah, I guess that probably babies feel like that too, but they don't know any better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. My periods were always really light. Yeah. And so a tampon didn't feel like it made sense. Yeah. So I wore pads for a long time. And yeah.
Yeah.
They're, yeah. Now I use our cup.
Yeah, do you good? I
Yes.
love that too.
Yeah.
Using a cup's my favorite thing too.
Mhm.
I think it just simplifies everything.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one was, I think, my favorite. An ex-boyfriend, emphasis on ex, asked why I couldn't just hold it about my flow.
Yeah. That would be so awesome if you could. I think it would just be a bunch of girls just like holding it all the time. Like
just like the RBF, like resting hold it face or something.
Oh, that would be cool. But
Yeah. No, we
bless
can't.
his heart.
Yep.
Bless his
He
heart.
tried.
Yeah.
He tried.
Well, now he knows. Hopefully she explained. I don't know.
Yeah.
So funny.
I think there's a few others that are pretty funny, but I think let's get into the episode.
All right.
I think we have some fun things to talk about.
Oh, this episode is going to be educational and fun. So let's get into it. Mixers is a company made for women by women. Each of our products have been carefully and lovingly crafted to support you in all stages of your life, providing you with the optimal health you deserve. Each ingredient we handpick is 100% all natural, backed by science, and chosen specifically to better your life physically, mentally, and hormonally. Each product empowers your body to take charge of its monthly hormonal shift and flows, empowering you to live life to the fullest. Let Mixers take care of your needs from sunup to sundown, and you take care of the rest. Check us out at mixers.com, MIXHERS. All right, are you ready to dive in? We're going to talk about what hormones are anyway. Now, hormones are produced by your endocrine glands. We call this our endocrine system, also known as our hormone system. So like your ovaries are part of this, and they help to produce the sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And these are just one of 8 endocrine glands key to hormonal health. And so hormones are also produced by things like our adrenals and our hypothalamus, our pancreas, our parathyroid, our pineal gland, our pituitary, and our thyroid. In fact, your adrenal glands also produce sex hormones, including testosterone. These hormones are our body's messengers. They regulate reproduction, growth and development, metabolism and energy, nutrient and electrolyte balance in the blood, water balance in the body, and even our stress response. Now, the goal of your hormone system or your endocrine system is to maintain balance, which means female hormonal health is more than just reproductive health. It is whole body health. So in even simpler terms, I like to describe it like this, kind of as a little visual, if you will. Hormones are like mail for your body. These chemical messengers use your blood as the highway for getting to tissues and organs throughout your whole body to let them know it's time to get to work. While they do play a very big role in reproduction and in sexual function, they also regulate a number of other processes like our sleep, our metabolism, our mood and brain function, and our body temperature. And if hormones are the messengers, then the endocrine system is like the post office. For us ladies, this complex network of glands is comprised of the pancreas, adrenal glands, pineal gland, thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary glands, and ovaries. That's a whole network. And each of these glands play a specific role in the body. They only deliver mail on their specific selected routes. Now, the thyroid, for instance, regulates essential bodily functions like metabolism and our body temperature. And then the tiny pineal gland has the incredibly important job of sending out melatonin to maintain your circadian rhythm or natural sleep and wake cycles. Ovaries and adrenal glands are in charge of the reproductive hormones, estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. So now that we've got the basics down, what happens if there is malfunction at the post office or if one of the delivery glands goes off route? Now, in order to survive and thrive as humans, we depend on these little messengers to do their jobs effectively and efficiently. But with so many factors clogging our highways, sometimes things can get just a little out of control. There are a number of ailments and illnesses that can occur when one of our little messengers goes haywire. Some of the most common ones we see among women are things like diabetes, which is a malfunction of the pancreas, thyroid disorders or sleep disorders, which can be associated with multiple glands of the endocrine system, and reproductive issues associated with the ovaries. Now, while each of these problems are regulated by separate glands, they work together to create harmony in the body. So imagine whoever is sorting the mail at the post office gets things mixed up or is behind schedule, then everything thereafter is then thrown off. And this means that if you have hormonal imbalance in one zone, then chances are it will affect multiple areas of your life. So what exactly is causing our little male messengers to malfunction? Now, many of the hormonal issues that we see today are a result in living in modern society. Spending too much time indoors or staring at our screens, poor diet, hormonal birth control, high stress levels, and pollution, they all play a large role in the health of our endocrine system. The three main root causes of hormone imbalance are, first, the number one, we talk about this a lot, is nutrient deficiency. We just don't get all of the nutrients that our bodies need in order to function optimally. So that's where supplementation comes in. The second main root cause of hormone imbalance is chronic stress. And I know I talk about it on every episode, but it is affecting all of us and it has a huge impact on our stress system and on our hormones. The third main root cause is poor or compromised detoxification, which is because we are just bombarded with lots of toxins that are out there. Now, our bodies are beautifully designed to know how to detoxify, but the fact is they've got a big job to do. And so we need to be able to address all of these three main root causes if we are going to heal the reason why we might be suffering with some of the symptoms that are associated with hormone imbalance. While many hormonal imbalances are genetic, it is often these factors, like I have just mentioned, most of them are environmental, in fact, that activate them or cause them to flare up. This is known as the science of epigenetics, and it's fascinating. And I'm not going to dive into it today, but it is a fascinating science that is so interesting to study. Now, hormonal imbalances can range from barely noticeable to life-threatening. Some warning signs to look out for are things like irregular sleep patterns, painful periods or PMS symptoms, trouble conceiving, unexplainable weight loss or even gain, irregular appetite, and anxiety or mood disorders. So let's dive into just a little bit deeper and really take a look at what the actions of our hormones are and what systems of the body are affected or are affecting our hormone balance. So let's first talk about estrogen and progesterone. Now, estrogen, which is actually a catch-all phrase for several different types of estrogen, what it does is it directs female sex characteristics. It promotes cell proliferation. It slows bone loss. It stimulates and protects brain cells. It raises HDL levels, increases body fat, and creates progesterone receptors. Now, progesterone, what it does is it helps to relax our muscles. It also helps to maintain the lining of our uterus, and it stimulates bone growth. It burns fat for energy and it increases libido. And most importantly, it balances estrogen's effects on the body. So progesterone is very important for hormonal health because in order for estrogen to work correctly, it has to be in the right ratio to progesterone. Without adequate progesterone, your body will be in estrogen dominance or estrogen saturation, which simply means there is too much estrogen in the body. Now, low progesterone can lead to estrogen dominance. Now, additionally, there's things out there known as xenohormones or xenoestrogens. These are man-made substances that have hormone-like properties, and they can have an estrogen-like effect on the body, contributing to estrogen dominance. Excess estrogen and these xenohormones can lead to several conditions that are probably familiar to you. So things like heavy bleeding, clotting and cramping, water retention and bloating, breast tenderness, lumpiness, cystic breasts, weight gain, post-menstrual migraines or headaches, depression, irritability, anxiety, and anger, decreased sexual response, zinc deficiency, thyroid hormone dysfunction, blood sugar dysregulation, increased risk of autoimmune diseases, increased reproductive site cancers like breast, uterine, ovarian, things like that, and it decreased in fertility. So for hormonal health, you need to balance estrogen and progesterone. To balance these hormones, other organs and systems are also very important, specifically our liver, our adrenals, our thyroid, and our lymphatic system. So let's talk about your liver and hormone balance. Because the liver is a very important organ. It metabolizes proteins and carbohydrates, stores nutrients, it synthesizes cholesterol, it neutralizes toxins, and it processes hormones, and it does so much more. A healthy liver can excrete excess estrogen and keep hormones in balance. However, a stressed or overworked liver leads to that elevated estrogen state and absolute hormonal imbalance. So there are several nutrition, lifestyle, and environmental factors that can negatively affect the health of your liver. And I'm just going to name just a few. Okay. So things like the processed foods that we eat. A lot of our foods have artificial ingredients. They are high in trans fats. They're high in sugar. Maybe we're drinking alcohol or we're eating non-organic meats and produce that are covered in pesticides and herbicides. Maybe that's the plastics that we're eating out of or from. There's also industrial pollutants that we're breathing in. There's also heavy metal exposures. There's things in our skincare products, these preservatives that are in our skincare products or in our harsh cleaning products. These are all things that affect, but also things that are like chronic infections, all have an impact on our liver health. Now I want to talk a little bit about our adrenals and how it affects our hormone balance. The adrenal glands are our body's stress gland. They help our body deal with both acute and chronic stress. What you may not know is that they are also your backup for producing sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Your adrenals are especially important for balancing hormones during perimenopause or postmenopause. Therefore, hormonal health is very dependent on adrenal health. When the body is under stress, your adrenal glands produce your stress hormone cortisol. In times of excessive stress, your body will actually even convert progesterone to cortisol. And as a result, chronic stress will deplete progesterone and can lead to estrogen dominance. So some things that can stress those adrenal glands out are things like sugar, refined flours, those trans fats, and just the junk food that we eat, but also alcohol, caffeine, or any kind of stimulants, and smoking. But things like you maybe are not even considering things like antacids, birth control, and a lot of other medications. Things too that you're maybe not considering are things like excessive exercise or not getting a good night's sleep on a consistent basis and you're dealing with sleep disturbances. Or if you are chronically dealing with stress from work or finances or even your relationships, that chronic and acute stress has a huge impact. Also, chronic and acute infections can have a big impact, or even just feelings of lack of control over the outcomes in your life. All can have an impact on our adrenal glands. Now, low progesterone from adrenal stress can also cause things like hot flashes. This is because low progesterone in the presence of fluctuating estrogen confuses your temperature regulatory system. During the menopause transition, extreme estrogen flux will mistakenly signal your body to increase core body temperature, creating the typical hot flash symptoms. However, healthy adrenal function will balance hormones and reduce or even eliminate hot flashes. Let's talk about your thyroid and how it affects hormone balance. The thyroid gland is your metabolism firehouse, and every cell in your body depends on thyroid hormone. If your thyroid is not functioning optimally, you may have weight gain, you may deal with constipation, you could have dry skin, fatigue, foggy brain, depression, hair loss, all of these things. Both your thyroid and your ovaries need iodine for optimal hormone production. So if your thyroid is not properly nourished, your ovaries won't be either. This can lead to hormonal imbalance and estrogen dominance. Excess estrogen then interrupts thyroid hormone production, just adding to the problem. So let's talk about the next system called our lymphatic system. And I don't talk about this one as much, but I'm excited to talk about it today. It's an often forgotten system of the body. Your lymphatic system is equally important to your endocrine system when it comes to hormone balance. This system carries fuel throughout the body. It assists the immune system and it clears waste from your body. This waste includes hormonal metabolites that need to be processed and then excreted from the body. A stagnant lymphatic system can reduce the clearing of excess estrogen and lead to estrogen dominance. Your lymphatic system depends on the action of your muscles to pump lymph through your liver, your kidneys, and colon for waste removal. So lack of exercise is the primary cause of a stagnant lymphatic system. It can be incredibly frustrating not feeling like your best, to not be able to pinpoint exactly what's going on or how to get control of your health. So I do want to share some helpful tips to naturally aid your hormone system in regulating your hormones. I always love to give you action items. So the first one that I'm going to recommend is that you cut out plastics. Most plastics contain chemicals that act as endocrine disruptors, hormone disruptors. It's like an imposter mailman that looks like it's going to get the job done by mimicking the hormone, but instead it causes the gland to secrete a harmful amount, too much or even too little, of a certain hormone. If you do choose to buy plastic, then opt for BPA-free products. Now, the second thing I'm going to recommend is that you want to do your very best. And I know you girls are doing your best. You're trying your hardest. You want, though, to focus on eating well. We all know it, but sometimes we need to hear it again and maybe even again. A healthy diet is one of the most crucial parts of maintaining a healthy body, especially when it comes to your hormonal health. So load up on your fruits and veggies and unprocessed whole foods to keep your male messengers, your hormones, happy. Other sneaky culprits that you should also look out for are things like sugar, alcohol, and caffeine. Now, the third tip I'm going to give you is that you want to really focus on trying to limit your screen time. And I know it's hard because we are just glued to those screens, aren't we? Now, while we aren't totally sure how much of an effect screen exposure has on our bodies yet, there is growing evidence that they indeed negatively impact our hormonal health. So if possible, limit screen time before bed, as this can interfere with your melatonin, your sleep hormone production, which will absolutely affect your sleep. Now, if you work in front of a computer, you may also consider wearing things like blue blocking glasses that help to filter out some of those harmful blue light. The other thing I recommend is to get holistic help. Now, I know I'm a holistic health practitioner, so I, of course, believe in this wholeheartedly, but I want you to understand why. If you suspect a hormonal imbalance or dysregulation, you may want to seek out care from a holistic health provider like a Chinese medicine practitioner or a naturopathic doctor before turning to conventional medicine. The reason is that these practitioners use a variety of methods like acupuncture, herbal care, homeopathic medicine, all the things to treat you without or in conjunction with pharmaceuticals, which can often be very hard on our hormone health. We don't recognize that a lot of these pharmaceuticals can be taxing our liver. They can be interfering with our body's ability to be able to absorb some of the nutrients that are so necessary for hormonal health. All right. So consider that. Look in your area and see who you can turn to. The fifth tip that I'm going to give you girls today is, you won't be surprised, stress management. This one is huge. We get it. Life is stressful. It is stressful for all of us, but it is all in how we manage this stress, and that management can make a world of difference when it comes to our health. Our health has to come first. So when you feel good, then every other area in your life feels more balanced. So do what works for you, whether that be exercising or meditating, spending time in nature is one of my favorite things, or even laughing with loved ones. This is medicine. And consider it an investment in your health. If you suspect that you may have hormonal imbalance that is interfering with your life, then talk to your doctor and then follow your intuition to find a method of care that will work for you. Everyone deserves to live a healthy, thriving life with what they have been given. Now, understand that in order to do this, you need to prioritize your well-being and be as consistent as possible. Stress management and exercise are two lifestyle choices that will be critical to hormone balance and overall health. But I also have a few nutritional suggestions that will support your endocrine and lymphatic systems and get your hormones back into balance. Okay. So the first thing is to avoid GMO and conventionally grown foods. The other thing is make sure you're drinking plenty of pure water with electrolytes if possible. Now, consume a whole rainbow of organic fruits and vegetables, organic and grass-fed meat, wild-caught fish, raw nuts and seeds, and high-quality fats. Consider supplementation of some of the things that I'm going to talk about now. You girls know about some of our products that we offer over at Mixers, okay? So the first one that I would say, the foundation product that is going to support and address the three main root causes of hormone imbalance and help to support all of these systems that we've talked about today is Her Time. When I was formulating Her Time, I was keeping all of this in mind on how we could absolutely support the body's optimal function. It has ingredients in it that contain powerful nutrients that help to support the stress system, helping to reduce the negative effects that stress can have on our adrenal glands. It also helps to support our thyroid, which is so connected to all of this. It also helps to support our liver function, which is going to help with detoxification. So it provides the nutrients that we need. It reduces the effects of stress, and it helps our body to detox. So if we can address all three of these main root causes, we will see hormone balance. We will see those symptoms that we suffer with disappear. It takes a lot of effort, but Her Time is an amazing tool that can help support you in all of that cause. The other supplement that I'm going to recommend is Her Thrive. Now, Her Thrive is our product that was formulated for women who are going into menopause. So you might be late stage perimenopause, or you may have gone through menopause and you're postmenopause. What is so helpful with Her Thrive is that once our progesterone and our estrogen have tanked, then we start feeling symptoms that are associated with these low hormone states. Her Thrive provides really powerful phytoestrogens that mimic the benefit of estrogen in our body. Now, none of our products put hormones into your body. They just naturally support the body in either producing its own hormones or giving the benefit of what those hormones do for us naturally. And that's what Her Thrive does. Her Thrive can act like an estrogen when we need it to help to reduce those hot flashes, the low libido, the unexplained weight gain, the vaginal dryness, all those things that are associated with low estrogen. Her Thrive can come in and help and save the day. I have so many women that have said that it's absolutely made them feel like their selves again. So that is something to consider. Now, one that I'm also going to recommend that is so important is that you take Her Multi. A multivitamin is going to be full of all of those vital nutrients that we need in order to support all of our body systems, all of our bodily functions. But specifically when it comes to women's hormonal health, some things that you want to consider and what is in Her Multi are things like B vitamins. B vitamins are cofactors of estrogen metabolism and can be depleted by stress. The other thing is magnesium. Magnesium is critical for adrenal health and the elimination pathways or the detoxification pathways. Also, zinc. Zinc can be depleted when the body is estrogen dominant. So these are things that we absolutely want to be getting into our body, and we're not getting it enough from the food that we're eating. But there are some additional nutrients that I do recommend. So I would recommend making sure that you take an essential fatty acid or an omega-3 supplement, because these essential fatty acids are important for hormone production and just for endocrine system support. The other thing is, as women, it's really important for us to get in enough protein. I think sometimes some of us, I know I'm guilty of it, don't always love protein. I would way rather eat all the carbs and the fruits and vegetables and all of that. But protein is so necessary for every aspect of normal body functions, and deficiencies in protein can lead to hormonal imbalance. All right, if you suspect that you may have a hormonal imbalance that is interfering with your life, then I really recommend that you talk to your doctor and then follow your intuition to find a method of care that will work for you. Everyone deserves to live a healthy, thriving life with what they have been given. Thank you, as always, for tuning into the It's Her Time podcast. I love having you here. I hope you found this episode helpful and maybe even enlightening. And I hope that you feel like this is an episode that you could share with the girls in your life, because sharing is caring. It's always fun to learn together with you, and we just adore you. Please interact with us. Come and talk about this episode, or share the things that you would like us to talk about in the future over on our Mixers Girl community page. You go to our website, mixers.com, mixhers.com, and you can just click on community, and that's where we have that conversation. Also, we love it when you guys leave ratings and reviews or comments under our YouTube, wherever you're hearing or watching this episode. Please interact so that we know who is on the other side, so that we know who we are talking with. So thank you again. I hope that this week is so full of happiness and fun with family and friends, and I hope it's very happy and healthy. Bye.